Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Culture and the Cross. And this is a podcast where we talk about the happenings going on in our church in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Rock Church. We talk about all of the interesting things we see on social media, and then we finish off with a questions that need answers. And we're your hosts. I'm Artra.
I'm Corey.
Yes, and welcome back. And since you're here already watching, like this video, subscribe, and then of course hit that notification bell so that you don't miss another episode, and share it. Share it with all your friends.
Yeah, share it. Or if you're listening and you can't notify, subscribe to the Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I think we're on there too. I'm not quite sure if we're on there or not.
I don't know. Do all the things.
We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe as well if you're listening to this today.
Yeah, do the things. Do all the things. Okay, so let's start off. First is the happenings at the Rock Church being church planters.
Yes.
What's up?
Question is, how do we deal with loneliness? How do you deal with loneliness as a pastor and as a church planter?
It is a lonely life sometimes.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. But I'm one of those, like, it can be, but it doesn't have to be.
That is true.
And I think that sometimes, you know, I do believe you can choose loneliness in a way.
Yeah.
As a pastor, especially as a pastor. I'm not talking about a single person. I'm not talking about someone who lives by themselves. This is a separate conversation.
Yeah.
I think as a pastor, sometimes we choose loneliness.
Yeah.
And I think that the reason is that not even like I want to be lonely, but I think that we get sometimes caught up in the busyness of things happening. Mm-hmm. So we don't reach out to friends.
Yeah,
we don't talk to people. If something bad happens, we kind of get in our head about it and start thinking, I'm the only pastor in the entire city that's experiencing this problem with leadership, this problem with money, this problem with, something I've messed up, this problem with messages, my online audience. I think that sometimes we as pastors choose loneliness by not making ourselves accountable, and making ourselves friendly to others or connecting with other pastors who are maybe in a similar situation.
You just have to put yourself out there.
I agree. Yeah, I think that you have to, because as I just said, all those things I just named, because it happened to me, to where I felt like, I get in my own mind about it. And then, especially if you feel like you did something wrong, and then you're just like, dang, I'm the only person in the pastor that ever messed that up or ever said the wrong thing.
No, it's not
and it's
true.
like, man, you ain't the only one. Like, it's 4 other pastors within a mile of your church that have probably made the same mistake. Possibly if you live in a city like us, they've probably made the same mistake and might have learned from it, right? And so I think that we as pastors have to do a better job of, I always think like if you want friends, show yourself friendly.
Yeah.
Like if you want, and I've been trying to take this mindset a little more here recently in the last probably like year or so. When I think about people, if I want to hang out with somebody, I'm just hit them up, see if they want to hang out. I'm not going to start thinking, well, they don't call me. They haven't texted me.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe they thought the same thing or maybe not, or who cares? You're an adult. Like if you want to be friends with someone, or if you want to unless you just want to stay in the cave, if you want to come out, you got to come out, because no one's coming to get you. If you want to stay in a rut and be by yourself, then you'll stay there. But I think you have to reach out. And I try to do this. You hit friends up, hey, you want to hang out? Let's get lunch. I don't want anything in particular. I just want to hang out because I've been going to church every week. I've been preaching. I've been going to work. I've been preaching. I've been with Archer. I've been with the kids. I've been preaching. I've been going to work with the church people. And it's like, dang, I haven't sat down and talked to my friends and just talked about the game and talked about football, or called my friend and just asked him about his life,
I think that.
What do you think?
I think that you probably deal with the loneliness more than me. I think I keep my mind very occupied. And so when I'm not occupied, I want to be alone. I don't want to hang out. But I think also because I've never really had a whole bunch of friends, and I'm an only child. So it's like, I'm fine. I have found a plethora of ways to entertain myself so that I don't feel alone, like lonely and by myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but so I, as pastoring, like I don't quite feel lonely. Sometimes I wish I could like really befriend maybe a lady or two in the church, but I don't feel like you can really do that. So I'm just like, well, I'm okay.
I mean, you can.
I don't know.
You can. I mean, we're still new in this, so it's not like we figured it out.
Yeah.
I think that, and I think you do have to be, I think you made a good point. that you have to know yourself, meaning like if you're a little more predisposed to that, to being lonely. I know for me, I wouldn't say I'm predisposed to being lonely, but I can get in my own mind and be like just in my own little, thought pattern, and then it's spiraling down because I'm, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, okay, you need to reach out. You need to call somebody, like talk to a friend.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. I tell everybody,
find
you
a
need
friend.
some friends.
Yeah.
I will stand on this. I'm standing on this until I'm not standing on it. I tell everybody when they be like, oh, I be like, so who are your friends? Because who is with you in this? Who do you talk to? Like, I just think and I think you may be
What were you about to
for
say?
you, you may be a special case. Don't need nothing. But I don't think most people are like that. I think most people,
I don't think a lot of people are like that.
I'm not saying I don't have a million friends. I'm not even that outgoing like that. Like, I got 10, 15 friends. No.
I do think with friendships though, you are more
I feel like you need a solid 2 or 3. I mean, if you get 1 or 2, I mean, I feel like you need a solid 2 people in your life that you can call to be honest with. Like, I just truly believe most people, 9 out of 10 people need friends, man, and I think some of these problems that we experience, whether it be some of these problems we experience where people get in his own mind and don't know what to do about this and all that. It's like, man, talk to somebody. Get it off your chest and talk to somebody. And why I say you need a friend, I ain't saying talk to everybody. Talk to somebody who is a real friend. It's like when you tell them, man, me and my wife been struggling financially. They're not gonna be like, oh, dang, I thought you were balling, bro. Like, it's like, dang, bro, I'm really sorry to hear that, man. So like, I mean, as a man, what y'all gonna do? Like, what are you thinking to do going forward? Like, I remember talking to my friend about this one time. Hey, man, money been a little tighter these last, you know what I mean? Like, it's been, I mean, we ain't about to be put out the house, but like, it's been tight, bro. He was like, oh man, like, I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, he was like, man, we went through that too, and we kind of had to we had to hunker down and da. And we talked about it, and you know what he never did? He never brought it up again. He never threw it in my face. He didn't ask me every week, how your money doing? It's just like, yo, we know that's, but thank you for sharing it. Like,
yeah, to be honest, you have,
talk to about that.
You, for real though, you have good, genuine friendships. I think that's great.
You need, I don't think that. I don't think that.
But
I mean, they are genuine, but I don't think I'm like, I have all these friends. I just
no. It's not like you have like thousands of them. But the guys that you do consider a friend,
they're solid.
They're solid.
Absolutely,
those are like
guys.
Good,
I consider my friends. Like,
friends.
no, I'm calling this. I'm catching up. If you in town, let me. Those are solid people.
Yeah,
like
they're
legit.
Good, they're good
I don't
guys.
even hang with no shysters. People who ain't on. No. So I think that and that could be some of that too. But back to the pastors, I think that you gotta have people that you can lean on.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like sometimes with loneliness, you have to kind of, not you have to fight it off, but you have to be proactive. It's always God, right? First, it's always Scripture first. It's always your relationship with God, because if you're not with the Lord, you can have friends all day and still be depressed. Like, you can still be jacked up if you ain't with the Lord, if you ain't anywhere, if you preaching every week, but like never praying, never in your word, never in a devotional, never spending, like, you're going to just start pouring on an empty cup, and it's going to affect everything. So this almost goes not without saying, because this is not without saying, is that you have to prioritize your walk with God, but that starts everything. Like, if I'm having money problems, I'm like, what does the Bible say about it? If I'm having marriage problems, so it's always that. But we try to get into a little more of the practicals, like who you talk to, like, you know what I mean? Like, even for pastors too. And our church is not a part of like a set network of churches.
Right, it's not.
We're not a part of that. But I've been able to find good community just with other pastors. Just maybe it's what you just said. I reach out.
Yeah, you
like,
do.
You
do really good about
catch
that.
Up. Let's this and that. So
I probably should do better with that.
Yeah, I've kind of within the area, not like a ton of people, but just develop a good relationship with a couple pastors and say, hey man, like, I may not be a part of a traditional denomination or network, but like, I got some people that I can call. Like, if I'm down, not one, I can call my pastor, Pastor Myron, but also I can call a couple brothers and be like, hey bro, like, I need you to come preach. I need help. Like, I need understanding. I need what you think. Hey, what's working for you? Can you help me with this? Like, or whatever. Or I just need to talk to somebody who's not in my church, who's not going to judge me. Hey bro, this is what happened on Sunday. What you think about this?
Yeah, and they do the
you
same. They do the same too, and I think
that's
nice.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of pastors probably struggle with loneliness because you feel like you can't be friends with the people in the congregation, and then like you were saying, you feel like I'm the only person dealing with this issue. Yeah. All the other churches around me are top notch and perfect, and it's just me. Right. So then you feel alone, but you're not alone, and you need to find a friend.
Yeah, you're not the only. I mean, and the thing is with Pastor Wesley, we know this right here. We know it. You know you're not the only one. Your church ain't that special. Like we all trying to preach Jesus and reach people and grow the church and all that. But I remember in the, last year, I was on a call with a few pastors, another pastor, gathered some pastors together to have like a call. We maybe did 2 or 3 of them. Yeah. Something like that. Maybe over the summer. No, it was like early summer. Couple. Maybe like 3 or 4, 2 or 3, something like that. We did a few calls over the summer. And just he was trying to give some tips and just community. And I said, it was maybe like 8 or 9 pastors. A couple times it was 6, 7, 9, something like that, pastors. And as they talked about their things and things they're praying for and things they're believing for, all different types of churches. Some were bigger than ours. Some were closer. We were probably, it's not important, but we were probably one of the, in number, we were probably one of the smallest churches on the call in number. Some were a little bigger. Some were much bigger. But you know what I saw? I saw them brothers express the same problems I have. I was like,
but you just don't feel like I'm not the only one. That. Yeah.
It don't matter if your church got 50 members or 500. We all kind of got problems, stuff that we're trying to work through. Yeah. And it was an encouragement for me because I was like, oh, I didn't feel as lonely. They and this is important too. A lot of those pastors, on that particular, they all looked like me. They were all black pastors, and I know in our country that's important. Not that I can only learn from black pastors, but y'all get what I'm saying. They were all brothers. They were all younger guys. There weren't no older guys, and they were all trying to build their local churches, and all had experienced different things. And it made me not feel as I would get off the call and tell you like, dang, Archer, this one pastor, his church is in Virginia, his church is in Charlotte, and he talked about this, and I'm like, dang, we just talked about that. Yeah, his church been around for 7 years. His church been around for 8 years, and he has problems too. And also, but not just problems, he's doing well in some things too that we can learn from. It helped me not feel so lonely.
It's also nice to have friends that are not like in ministry as well, because they help you to see things from a different perspective. Yeah, especially when they're not like, oh, I go to church every single Sunday, type of friends. Yeah, it helps you see things from a different perspective.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And I think too that and as you said, I'm like, man, you guys right, because it's good to get outside of the church bubble. Yeah. To realize, like, to hear real people's problems. I think too that's one of the benefits of even myself. I don't work full time at the church or anything. I think that's one of the benefits of not being full time. And I've been there before. And when I was working full time, at some point I started to feel like, at that time anyway, I started to feel like a little stretch of like, dang, I'm just at the building every day. I'm in the office always. Yeah. I'm not talking to real people. You can't get
like in a bubble.
You can, but you got to kind of work to get out of that and get into the world. I think that's one of the benefits of being bivocational, whatever it can be, because you can kind of get out and talk to real people.
And you've had opportunities to even like talk and minister to other people through your job, because like you're not just sitting at your church. Yeah. At the church all day. Right, You can actually like evangelize outside of the church.
And kind of get outside of it. So I think that helps to not feel so lonely. Just kind of, I feel like you gotta come out of the cave. Yeah. But I would say this too, is one pastor I met a while ago, years ago, we first moved here, and he talked about how like, he's like, man, you're like the first pastor I've like sat down and had lunch with.
Oh, really?
Because like he kind of felt like he didn't really trust other people. He had some bad experiences.
Oh, that's really sad.
So that's really when it's unfortunate, where you feel like you kind of got burned. And you just be like, you know what, I'm gonna just do my little thing, and I'm a you know what I mean? So that was unfortunate. But me and him end up developing, a rapport, associate level. We didn't necessarily develop a deep friendship. But what I'm saying, we had a rapport, and I was glad he was able to kind of like, he was like, I don't really bang with nobody, but Corey, so I thought it was.
But that's honestly,
and he ended up meeting another pastor, and kind of the three of us end up, coming together to do, some things and stuff like that. But so and it worked out,
But that's honestly, honey, you're a nice guy.
Well, it's not about me being.
It is guy, like for real, like you're a good person.
Don't lie to the people, Archer. I'm a hard man. I'm a hard nosed man.
In what world?
I'm a hard man.
No, you're actually you're actually a nice guy. You're a good person. Well, thank you. So it's not shocking saying that, like, I bang with Corey. Of course you do.
Some people think I'm.
Some people think I am complete, like.
Yeah, some people think I'm mean, boy. They think I'm hard on people.
But people think that about me too.
It happens.
But I don't think it's not my actions that people probably think. That's probably the way I don't sugarcoat things sometimes when I'm telling them stuff. Hey, I just say it.
We're off the rails. We're off the rails now. It's not you. I'm not me. You the
Get some stuffer skin.
Yeah, what's their name, Archer?
No, I'm just kidding.
That's crazy.
No, I'm kidding.
No, that's really funny.
I don't think people think you're mean.
Well, pastors, I'm not mean. So hit me up if you want to catch up. I'm here.
He's
Raleigh.
not. He's really a good.
I can talk to anybody. You black, white, old, or young. Let's be. Well, I was about to say, let's be friends. Let's be friendly first. See if we develop a friendship.
Let's be friendly. Okay, well, let's move on to our. Where's the button?
Right there. On this
What's
couch.
the jingle, babe? Do the jingle.
I forgot the words. As seen on social media. That's all I got.
Do the jingle.
I don't have a jingle.
As seen on social media. Get a jingle.
Wow.
Babe. Get the thing. Okay. Anyway, so Americans for a good 14 hours.
Right? Down.
We were down. We were banned from TikTok.
Right.
And all things related to TikTok. And as Americans, we all crashed out.
Yee, I saw, man.
Because not only was
crazy.
TikTok down, Lemon8 was down, CapCut is still down.
Still down?
Yes, but Instagram is basically making an app exactly like CapCut that's coming out like in February or March.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, but I could have just kept CapCut. Like all of my videos that I've edited are on CapCut and I want them to take them off, but I can't.
Dang.
It's banned. Like
Right.
when you open CapCut, it's just this like banner that says like, sorry, something, we're not working right now. Something like that.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, but at least Lemon8 is back. TikTok is back.
Is it back now?
It's back. Yeah.
It's back for if you like already had it. Because I feel
So
like
do you think you could like
when I
search-
checked to download Lemon8 like earlier, it wasn't. You couldn't get it on the App Store. So it's not. I guess if you already had it, maybe it's
Yeah.
back. But this is as of today.
As
This
of
is-
today.
As of today, recording, it's not back. Or it's
No.
not. It's not downloadable. If
I
you
guess
didn't already
not.
have it, but can you get on your TikTok and stuff?
I can get on my TikTok and my
Is
Lemon8
it like
account.
normal, or is it just like
I will say, now that I'm back on TikTok, the feed is it's giving like weird vibes.
it's different?
It's just different. Like I'm seeing a whole bunch of creators that I've never seen before.
Oh, wow.
The vibe is off.
Right.
The vibe is weird now.
Oh, Lord.
And of course there's all these like conspiracy things like, well, you know, Meta bought TikTok and da 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 da. And I'm like, I don't think they did. But I will say it's like really it's strange that they would even ban TikTok. But when you look at all the other countries that have banned TikTok, and it's like,
Right.
oh, this is getting strange.
Yeah. What countries banned TikTok? I think was it North
Oh
Korea?
yeah, like North Korea, China, Afghanistan, Azerbaijan,
That's a Chinese
Iraq.
company and they banned TikTok. That's crazy.
It's wild.
So all countries that are not necessarily known for being democratic.
Yeah, they
That's kinda
banned
crazy.
TikTok. And what's funny is in the meantime, like in the couple days before the ban, a lot of people purposely downloaded a Chinese app called Red Note and even began to like learn Mandarin so that they can like talk to the Chinese citizens on the app. Because it's a Chinese app. So like,
How's that gonna work out?
well, honey, the American people will do anything just out of spite. We are fueled. I feel like it's part of our like.
It is. It's part of the culture.
It's part of the culture.
Push back against the big
Yeah,
pharma,
and
big
so-
government, the man.
Yeah, like and so
all
on
of
TikTok, people were literally they had learned Mandarin, and were having like full blown like conversations in Mandarin, prepping for like moving over to Red Note.
Right.
It was wild.
That's crazy. I did not see that.
Well, you're not deep.
Not on
You're not deep in the
TikTok. Well,
trenches of like
I wasn't on
social
TikTok.
media.
I haven't been on TikTok in like 6 months or so. I kind of
Yeah.
got off there in the probably summertime. So I'm not really on there. I used to be on, well, I was on Instagram until just recently. But anyway, social media be taking up too much of my life. So I'd be stepping back from it.
Well,
But
I'm deep in the trenches.
Well, so tell us, Archer. So you have built an audience.
I
over
have built-
30,000 followers
I
on
do
TikTok.
have-
Archer is a influencer, y'all. Did y'all know that? She don't
No.
even say nothing about it.
Because
go
it's
follow
not a
Archer
big
on
deal.
TikTok. So what's your handle?
Samora Home.
Samora Home.
Yeah. So like,
And that's spelled Simora Home.
Yeah.
So Archer's an influencer on TikTok.
I'm not.
30K. That's a lot of
I
people.
have-
So how do you
I have a little
feel-
over 30K.
How do you feel about TikTok ban? You built an
And
audience
they
of
banned
30,000
like
followers.
Lemonade too, and I have like over 12K on there, and I was like,
12K
no.
on Lemonade. How do you feel about that? That was your whole business was on there.
I know I was really upset, but thankfully before it was going down, I kept telling people like, oh, follow me on Instagram, which was frustrating because I don't use my Instagram account. I don't like Instagram. I feel like because over there you got to be all pretty and aesthetic. I need to have a full beat face and a BBL. And like, I'm not that person.
Dang, not a BBL.
Yes. Like I need to be like a baddie. Like I don't want to be over there. And people are mean in those comments. Yeah. And they don't get the laid back humor that is on TikTok. Like TikTok is just, it's funny and it's like laid back type of humor that people on Instagram and especially not Facebook. No. They don't
TikTok's
get
a little more edgy humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff where it's like,
my type of humor and it makes sense. I
haven't seen those type of jokes. I think the Gen Z is kind of the Gen Z, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Brought back kind of almost edgy humor. Like, we gonna make fun of stuff, y'all. It's okay. It's a joke. Like, take
where
a joke.
You cannot do that on Instagram, and you definitely cannot do that on Facebook.
You can do it on Facebook and get you know, I
mean,
just
hammered.
Get comment hammered, but I mean, it was weird.
So I was a little sad, but I really was. I'm glad it didn't get banned, not just for me, but TikTok has been a blessing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, so many people have gained income, like full incomes, and built big, humongous businesses because of TikTok. Yeah. And so I saw some people like, well, I'm glad it's getting, you know, the TikToks and the Instagram people. I'm so glad that TikTok's going away. It's like, well, you wouldn't feel that way if your livelihood was not in this. Like, you wouldn't feel that way. Yeah. But, you know, Trump is here, so he saved the day.
That's what he said. I mean, we're going to see in the coming days.
No, like, so in the TikTok app, when it came back up, it was like, thanks to President Trump and blah, blah, blah. It literally like endorsed Trump. You never see an app do that.
This was all a ploy, man. This was all just I wish I knew really what was going on, but
behind the
something
scenes
is going on, man. Like, it's crazy. But I thought about this. I did think about. I was like, dang, if they can just ban a whole app, like
a whole app.
What happened to freedom of this and that and all that? Now, granted, they say it's a Chinese company. That's cool, but it was maybe Saturday morning, no Sunday, because it was Saturday night when it was coming down. I saw people talking.
Yeah, it was only like 9 p.m.
Yeah, and that joint was shut down. I was still up. But
it was like done.
When I got up Sunday morning, I checked to see like if it was gone. I just saw a couple articles about it. And I got that feeling of like, man, this ain't right. Like, they can just shut down the whole app. Like, it's banned.
Shut down
banned
an entire
for what?
app.
Like, I mean, and I get people
because
talking
the
about
Chinese
national security and
are taking our information.
But you don't think that they can get that? I just feel like people can get information if they want it. You don't need TikTok to get.
I was in the military. I'm sure they've
so
already
much
gotten
information away. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think there's other ways they can get information besides just TikTok. So I feel like it's more going on than just that.
I agree.
But like I said, for everybody who, was on there, wanted to just enjoy it. Sorry, because I found when I was on a very funny stuff. I found some funny people that I end up following on Instagram. Very funny people. I found a lot of great stuff on there. TikTok was great.
You learn so much. I've learned so much.
You can just Google. It's almost like it can be like you look. Hey, how to do? I remember one time I was looking up how to cut a mango.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't. It was like I didn't even think to go to Google. I just was like, oh, TikTok can have a quick 30-second video.
Yes, that's how I learned how to do the pomegranates for Elena.
Right. How to cut a mango. Boom, boom, boom. It came up, had a million. I watched first couple videos. Cut the mango. Had a great time. Like literally, it was like a Google because people weren't taking this long, and I didn't want to look at on YouTube. It's kind of like,
Jesus.
All right, let's break down all the fruits of mango. YouTube is great. But like I wanted a quick, I knew I was gonna get a minute long, 30-second long video on how to do this, and I did. So I appreciated it for that, but also for you, someone who built and just say you
like I've gotten
hard.
A couple of brand deals,
right?
Like
you worked hard to build
because
that
they've seen my audience and they were like, oh, we want you to promote a couple of our things, and I'm like, oh, sure,
right. Yeah, you worked hard to build this. I hope it comes back for that. But we're gonna see. I mean, you mentioned Lemonade. I've been thinking about getting on Lemonade. I heard that's like a thing.
I do like.
You mentioned
Lemonade.
that it was over a year ago. You mentioned Lemonade.
I got on Lemonade like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. Like when it first came out, something in me was like, "You're gonna need this app one day."
Right.
But then they decided to merge with TikTok, and I was just like, "Why'd they do that?"
Listen. But this is the
I don't like that they did that.
Right.
I really don't.
But concerning social media, this is the thing. Old Facebook still going.
Ugh. So is IG.
Instagram still going. Facebook have been on for how long? It's been 25 years? 20? I mean, over 20.
It's been over. So I got my Facebook account in, I maybe was a senior. No, because I remember back then you had to be in college to have Facebook.
I didn't get on Facebook till I got in my first
yeah,
year
because
of
I think you had to have a college.
No. When
Did you not?
No, by the time we got to college, well, by the time around that time, senior year college, everybody could get on there, but no one was on there yet. I don't remember getting on there for real until like my first year of college. This was 2007.
I think
2006, 2007. So
I think I got it in 2007. It was my freshman year.
Yeah, so it's been around long, but I
like
think
the summer before.
I think it got open to everybody like that.
By that
04,
time?
05. So we're talking 20 years now. Facebook been going strong.
It was because I have like high school pictures and stuff on there.
I do too.
So it
Matter of
was.
fact, yeah. Probably like senior year.
Yeah, because I think
That's
before
like
before that, you had to be.
I didn't know
had to
that
have
I think it was senior year.
I think I've been deep in the trenches of social media for a long time.
Yeah.
With the MySpace,
Right.
the AIMS,
Right.
the Tumblrs, the live journals. I used to have a live journal, like all of the things.
You did all that.
I was deep in.
It was all on MySpace. And
I've been deep into social media for a long time.
Yeah, we've been in it for a minute. But you know why I know it's my first? Actually, I remember my first picture on Facebook. I know I was in high school because I had cornrows. I remember I was at.
I saw that picture.
I had a black hat on. I was at Norfolk State hanging out. Had a
Yeah.
black fitted hat on. I had cornrows.
Mm-hmm.
I was a senior in high school. Like that's when.
No, I
used to have
remember that.
cornrows.
I saw that picture
By
when
the time
I
got
was
to college. I almost got locks by then. It was
Yeah.
it was like 2006. So we pushing 20 years. Facebook's still going. Billion people
Yeah.
on there. So I think it's funny how all these apps coming and going. Facebook just like, I'm just gonna stay here until I don't know. Instagram's still going, which obviously same Instagram.
Yeah,
Facebook,
now
same
there's
people.
Threads. I don't understand Threads.
I be on Threads. I thread sometime.
Yeah.
I'm stepping back a little more for social media just in general. I know we talk about social media topics, so I may not be on as much, but I like Threads. It's like Twitter, but I got off Twitter like 2 years ago, and just Twitter's not for me. But I think that
I've never.
it's so many
I have
social media apps.
I think Twitter's
like
the
you pick a
only one
couple.
I've like never. I don't.
I feel like I don't
get
get
on
all.
there.
I need a couple. If I'm on the gram, on Facebook, keep up with keep up with the older generation. The gram, maybe Threads. I may try and do another one. If Lemonade come back, I may try
Well,
and get on there.
there's Blue Sky now.
I may come back around to TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah, there's Blue Sky.
I heard of that one.
Is a new one.
So
I'm not getting on any more apps. I think I've had enough.
they gonna keep coming out though.
I know, but I don't know.
I mean, for as far as like your business, I mean, if you got one or two that you like,
I'm gonna keep the like essentials. The
TikTok
YouTube,
come out, YouTube,
Facebook, and Instagram.
That's the thing. YouTube,
I don't think is ever gonna go anywhere. It's like
It might
number
one day,
one or
but-
number after Google
Yeah,
search
it's like
engine or whatever.
Second after Google,
But-
which is crazy.
Back to the ban, right? So I thought it was strange that like they banned the TikToks or whatever, but we have been asking the government to do something about these guns and school shootings for ages, but they can't do anything. But they can shut down TikTok.
Because people can do what they want to do.
I just push a button. All the Americans don't have it, which was funny though, because when we all came back, so while we were gone off the app, right? All of like the British, the like Canadians, the Australians were talking slam crazy
Oh yeah.
about Americans, and we're so glad that we were gone because now their TikTok feed is quiet. And it's not a whole bunch of like
Americans know how to.
no, it's because
we
we're the
push out.
class clown. We're the popular
doing
class
everything.
clown. But then there were a lot of people that were like, "Oh my God, we're so glad you're back," because I was so bored. I didn't have anything to do. There was nothing to see. Like I didn't have anything to do.
Right.
So
Right. Well, y'all listen. Let us know. Y'all on TikTok. Y'all excited. Y'all glad it's back. Maybe it'll be back by the time this episode comes out in a couple of days. I don't know. We'll see. I may get back on there and start making some videos. Oh snap!
no, you're not.
Right. That's why I make videos every week at church at 10 o'clock.
That sounds like
every
you
Sunday
make
morning.
your videos.
I make a 30-minute message and it's on YouTube. If you want to see me talk on video. Now I post videos on Instagram too.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I do little short stuff. I like doing them. It's just for me. It's always been a time thing. You know, I've weighed whether it's the time commitment. You know, we do a lot now. Like we've started doing Bible study again at church.
We do.
So I think for me, as when I think about content, I'm putting out a lot of content already. Teaching
Yeah,
a
you
Bible study, preaching every Sunday, drop a little this and that. So I think for me, I only have so much capacity for the content, you know, putting out. And I know preaching message is not content, but y'all get what I'm saying. It is producing, putting out messages.
It takes,
and stuff like that.
and I think that's like if you've
energy.
never done it before, you don't realize how time consuming it is.
And I've gone through seasons where I tried to produce a lot of content for social
time
media.
Consuming.
It takes it's a commitment.
So
I
like
respect anybody
when I do it for my business, I take the day and I plan content.
Right.
And then I have to shoot the content.
Right.
Then you got to edit all the content.
Right.
And then you got to schedule all of the content.
Right.
And not just like a TikTok, but then you got to make sure you got your IG stories and the reels, and then making sure that they connect also to the Facebook of the threads. It's like, it's a whole thing. And then when you think about the content, you got to make sure you got your audience in mind and like, what do they really want to see? And it's a whole thing. Yeah. It's a whole thing. It's very time consuming.
It is.
It calms me. But it's very time. I love it. If
I wasn't like leading the church, I would probably be more gung ho on the content. Because in the times when I wasn't, I was like putting out stuff. My Instagram grew a little bit because I had to be consistent.
I remember that your Instagram grew a lot.
My goal was to break 1,000. I was at like 8 something.
Yeah,
like,
I remember
I gotta break 1,000. That was 800.
You like posted a video every day.
All the time. And then I grew to like 1,300, 1,400, and then I kind of fell off and got back focused on other stuff. But I realized the amount of work it takes. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
You got to be consistent. Them videos got to drop either every day. On Instagram, you could probably get away with 3 or 4 times a week.
The algorithm has changed. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, probably not. I mean,
like for growth, you got to like.
If you're really trying to, you probably got to be daily, at least. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I'm not.
And then you can't just like hope that you go viral. Like it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I'm trying to help our church Instagram and stuff grow. I know we gotta keep, but the thing about we just trying to stay consistent.
Yeah,
stay consistent. That way, if someone's looking for our church, like a guy came to church and I told him, he was like, "Oh man, y'all on like social media?" I was like, "Yeah."
He followed us.
Yeah, I saw it. He did it right there. He's like, "Oh man, look, I'm gonna give y'all a follow." Like,
yeah.
So he pulled it up right there and followed. So I think for people like that, most people we always talk about. We said it multiple times. Most people find us online, Facebook. Yeah. I saw y'all on Facebook. I saw y'all on Instagram. A few people came one time. I saw y'all on TikTok. And then so we try to keep posting and stay consistent. But it's a lot of work. I mean, it's social media is a thing. But the thing is, this is what I think about to kind of wrap this up, honey. I think we may have ran our time.
Oh, we did.
We have to circle back to our question next week. But I think this is okay. I feel like we did our episode backwards. We talked about loneliness first and then.
Yeah, but that was about pastors being lonely, not like people in general. Like, well, I guess it's the same. Even if you're not a pastor and you feel lonely, you got to make yourself friendly and find some friends. But I guess they used to have this thing called Meetup.
Oh, that's what I was like. I lost my train of thought.
I don't know if they. Okay, go ahead.
I was saying that social media is not going anywhere.
No.
TikTok may or may not go somewhere, even the other ones, but social media is not going anywhere. I mean, it may at some point because nothing lasts forever. So nothing lasts forever. But I do think what we're seeing. I mean, it's been around our entire adult life. And a little bit before, I don't really think it's going anywhere. I think people like the social media. I do think just the way we use it, and I think we see this with like, the newer generations. I think even our kids may kind of like. Whereas if our generation is like, we're gonna share we kind of was a generation to share our whole life on there. I think the generations after us are a little more like, maybe we shouldn't share everything that's going on in our life.
I don't know, babe. Look at Elena and Ezra. Yeah. Elena literally was doing a vlog. Getting ready for school, and she was like taking whoever.
Maybe I'm wrong.
She was like holding up her little iPad, like walking around the house.
She was, but I think that they'll use it differently in somewhere. Now maybe they won't. I do think there maybe is coming a generation that would be like, maybe not share everything about your life. I just think that that's not healthy. I don't think you need to share everything, but some things.
Yeah, well, I don't share my
maybe
life.
They're strategic. Maybe they're more strategic about it. I don't know. Or I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, also, a lot of the stuff we see on there is fake anyway. See, you're not on there. And so in the last days of TikTok, a lot of people were like, well, since TikTok is going away, I guess I'll tell you guys my little secret. And it was like stuff that was like, this is what made you famous, and that's not real. Like one girl, her whole thing was like, she would do like ice, and she would do like these specialty ice with like the berries and the coffee ice cubes and like all of these ice cubes. And she was like, to be honest, I hate all those ice cubes. I never use them ever. I would make the ice and give them away to my family members and my friends. I hated them. I never used it. Wow. And people were like, but that's how you became famous.
Just ice?
Oh, honey, I got to show you the videos. Okay. They're impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the way
Well,
she shoots
I don't
them.
know if you should go out confessing your whole life on there,
And now
'cause-
we're back.
Right.
So now what are you gonna do?
now everybody can be so you don't even like this, bro. You did something else.
No, she came back and was like, "Well, I guess we're back to ice."
People gonna forget all about the video, and she gonna keep balling.
Yeah,
So-
she is. It's really fun. And one girl lied about how she really doesn't like run. Like she's like a running influencer.
yeah.
And she was like,
That
I don't really run 10 miles.
Man, we gotta stop lying on these platforms.
But it's like,
Be for real.
but you shouldn't say that.
You done got probably brand deals, money, everything. Y'all don't be lying on this stuff. So, well, anyway, guys,
Yeah.
I think we've ran our time today.
Yeah,
So
talking about
we'll
social
circle
media
back
and
with the question
loneliness.
next week. But I hope y'all drop in with us again. We'll see y'all tonight for Bible study, Rock Church, 7:00. We'll see y'all Sunday. Archer's being licensed as a minister on Sunday.
I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yeah, right.
I wanted to talk to you about that.
Archer's being licensed as a minister
I don't know.
on Sunday.
Don't point at me like this.
Archer's being, so I want
I
everyone to
don't-
be
but-
there. Our ordination
Honey.
Sunday is happening. We're licensing ministers. We're ordaining a deacon. We're ordaining an evangelist. I'm serious. I'm going to have our clergy attire on. Very exciting.
I know,
If you
but
hear
I just-
Rock Church, we're recognizing those who are called unto the ministry. Huh? Unto the ministry.
Corey. But I didn't feel like you needed to talk about it.
You want to cut that part out?
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right, y'all. So
Oh
we'll
my
see y'all
goodness.
tonight at Bible study. Rock Church.
All right. Bye.
See ya.